Hello everyone, I hope you're all doing very well. Welcome to the latest in our series of Caps Have Donut Legacy Fighters 1955 to 1970 that we need in DCS World. Today we're looking at the Sukhoi Su-17/22. So whether it's an export or an interior fighter is going to depend on the designation of 17-22, but otherwise more or less they're the same vehicle. Now I have the pleasure of having seen these in real life. I haven't seen them fly, annoyingly. They've been at the Riot Airshow in England twice that I've been there, but we've just seen them on, just static display. But even then, they're really impressive. Just, I don't know, cool looking legacy Cold War fighters, basically. So, the Sukhoi SU, I'm just going to call it the Su-22, NATO reporting name fitter, is a Soviet variable sweep wing fighter bomber developed from the Su-7. It enjoyed a long career in Soviet, then later Russian service, and was widely exported to Eastern Bloc. Seeking to improve low speed and takeoff landing performance of the Su-7 Bravo fighter bomber, in 1963, the Sukhoi OKB, with the input from the TS AGI, created a variable sweep wing technology demonstrator, the Su-71 Golf. Internal designation S-22I or L, sorry I don't know, NATO designation fitter B. Converted from a production Su-7BM, has fixed inner portions of the wing with movable outer segments which could be swept between 28 degrees, 45 degrees or 62 degrees. So unlike, for instance, a Tomcat where pretty much the whole wing will move within a glove, this has a static wing up to about there, I think it is, and then a variable wing out there, which is just how they did it. The Su-17 fitter with its variable sweep wings was developed from the fixed wing Su-7B. The first public demonstration of it was made in 1969. It was in production for a long time, 1970 to 1990, and many modifications were built. Some of the modifications were Su-17 Mike, Su-17 Mike 2, Su-17 Mike 3, and the Su-17 Mike 4 low altitude subsonic bomber. The Su-17UM, the trainer, it was designated as a fighter bomber, but it was mostly used as a bomber. The Su-17 remained an effective aircraft with capable avionics and impressive armament. The Su-17 Mike were used during the First Chechen War alongside Sukhoi Su-24s and Sukhoi Su-25s in ground attack and reconnaissance missions. In a move to eliminate single-engine strike aircraft from its inventory, the Russian Air Force retired the Su-17 Mike 4 along with its fleet MiG 23 and 27s in 1998. Didn't know that. Interesting. Design. In the mid-1960s, after the Su-7B was adopted, the designers were given a new task: to find ways to reduce takeoff and landing distances for the type of aircraft. Sukhoi tried to solve this problem with the help of starting accelerators and brake parachutes. Starting accelerators, are we talking about Ratos? It'd be interesting if anyone knows. But soon we came to the conclusion that a wing with variable geometry was necessary. Seeking to improve low speed and takeoff landing performance of the Su-7 Bravo fighter bomber, in 1963, the Sukhoi Bureau created a variable sweep wing technology demonstrator. The engineers proposed an original wing design for the new aircraft. The angle was only changed by its cantilever part, so outer 50% more or less, about half the span, by turning only outer section and thereby maintaining the minimum displacements of the centers of pressure and of gravity. As the geometry changed, the developers left the design of the Su-7B wing almost intact. The wings are mid to low mounted, variable, swept back and tapered with blunt tips. It has a large bubble canopy. Does it? Okay. There is a prominent dorsal spine, like the MiG-21, on the back of the body from the cockpit to the tail fin. The tail is swept back and has a tapered fin with a square tip. The flaps are mid to low mounted on the fuselage and swept back and tapered. I apologise, I can't actually work out what that means. If you do know, then let me know. The Su-17 Mike introduced a smaller, lighter, more powerful AL-21F engine. The Su-17 M3 and M4 versions had an enlarged dorsal spine aft the cockpit, originally designed for the second seat of a trainer version but now filled with fuel. The Su-20 and 22 were export versions. Over 3,000 were built. The aircraft is powered by the AL-21F3 turbojet engine made by NPO Saturn. I think they make the flanker engines, with such kilonewtons of power, wet and dry. New avionics includes the CVM 20-22 central control computer, the PRNK54 navigation system, and a combination of RSBN, I think that's meant to say, or equivalent LoRaN, and A312, an equivalent of TACAN devices, which substantially increase the accuracy of navigation and bombing and decrease the necessity for manual operations by the pilot. It is also equipped with a DISS-7 Doppler navigation system, a CLEN 45 laser rangefinder, ASP 178C gun sights, IKV 8 internal navigation device, INS, ARK22 automatic radio compass, SRO2 transponder for the identification friend and foe system, SO69 active transponder, and SPO15 LE Sirena radar warning system. The S22M4 is equipped with the new ARC15 RSBN 2S is replaced by the RSBN 5. A new aiming and navigation complex with laser rangefinder and television system is installed. To protect the aircraft against electronic warfare measures, 4 sets of ASO passive jam with 32 cartridge cases, each 2 sets with 6 cases using KDS-23 infrared decoys, presumably flares. General characteristics: Cruise 1. The length is 62.5 feet. The wingspan is 44, nearly 45 feet or 33 feet. Height 16 feet 10 inches. Wing area 404 or 371 square feet. Empty weight just over 12 metric tons. Gross weight 16.5 metric tons. Max takeoff weight 19.5 metric tons. Fuel capacity 8,311 pounds. The power plant, as discussed before, and we've got with afterburner just under 25,000 pounds, so pretty much the same as a Pratt & Whitney F15 engine. Maximum speed at sea level, Mach 1.13, and altitude we've got here, and I apologise I don't have a map, but 1,160 miles an hour, 1,000 knots. Combat range 710 miles, high attack with 2,000 kilos of warload. Ferry range 1,400 miles. The service ceiling is 46,500 feet. G limits of +7 and minus unknown. Rate of climb 45,000 feet per minute, which is pretty good. Thrust to weight ratio of 0.68. Armament guns. We've got 2 times 30mm Nudelmann Richter NR30 autocannons. I believe these are the same things in the MiG-19. Correct me if I'm wrong. 80 rounds per gun, which is very low. 160 total. UPK-23 or SPPU-22 gun pods for 2 times the usual GSH-23mm autocannons. Hardpoints, 12 hardpoints, really impressive. The capacity of up to 8,800 pounds of stores with efficient to carry combinations of air-to-air missiles. We've got the K-13, we've got the R-60, and the frigging awesome R-73, which is great. Air surface missile, we've got the KH-23 Grom, which we love. We've got the KH-25 ML laser, which we love. The KH-29 laser TV or D, which I forgot. I'm guessing it's INS, but I've forgotten, which are all awesome. Anti-radiation missiles, KH-58, which we all know well. And these 2 guys here that we don't know well. Bombs! Apparently we've got drop bombs, so I guess that means dumb bombs, laser-guided bombs, electro-optical guided bombs, napalm bombs, drag chute bombs, and cluster bombs with rockets of S5, S8, and S13, various types and sizes of rockets. Quite a veritable loadout. Certainly looks the business. Looks awesome. Cockpit, we discussed, and we think it's fairly tornado-like. Just a great cockpit. Not overpolluted with technology. Really good. Also a bit SU-25-like as well, which kind of makes sense, doesn't it? Very analog, very nice, and a scope there for whichever weapon needs it. Same thing there, slightly different colour, I think. Same thing there. It's such a Russian cockpit, it's unbelievable. We've got an SU-22/17 story. At approximately 18:43 local time on July 18th, a US naval Rhino Super Hornet operating over Syria shot down a Syrian Arab Su-22 M4 fighter bomber near Syria. Its pilot engaged the fighter and initially fired an AIM-9X Sidewinder close-range heat-seeking missile from a range of about half a mile, which was defeated by flares launched from the Su-22 pilot. The Super Hornet then re-engaged and fired a AIM-120 AMRAAM, which hit the fitter despite being fired from a relatively close range. The pilot was able to eject and later recovered, according to the local sources. However, the engagement poses some interesting questions, not least, how was a 1980s era fitter able to defeat a cutting-edge US air-to-air seeking missile? It just does get defeated by flares, simple as that. That proved to be the very important test. In 1987, we had the AIM-9 Papa, which was designed to reject flares, but it doesn't really. And when we used US flares against it, it would ignore them and go straight for the target. We had the Soviet flares, they were dirty, and none of them looked the same, and the AIM-9 Papa said, I love that flare. Why'd that happen? We had designed it to reject American flares. The Soviet flares had a different burn time, intensity, separation, and so on. Ultimately, having defeated the 9X, the fitter wasn't as successful against the radar-guided AMRAAM. However, this engagement will surely have a few Top Gun and weapons school graduates scratching their heads and trying to understand exactly how a 30-year-old fitter, probably in poor state of condition, beat off America's best close-range missile. And that missile probably cost more than this plane. That missile was $500,000. That's the end of that. Really cool plane. Not much to say. I'm pretty sure everyone looking at that just thinks that's just like a MiG-21 on steroids and I just want it.